Hello, everybody. The CrossFit Games start today for the age groups and some other divisions anyway. It is July 27th, 2021. So, a fun and exciting week. Before we start, I have to say thank you to Rod and Diane Coachman, CrossFit 1209, rocking their shirt right now. I have my iPhone set up so that it's mirror image, so it's backwards. I understand that. But CrossFit 1209, thank you so much. Rod, see you there. Thanks, man. The shirt's awesome. Fits great. Much obliged. Rod and Diane, their gym, CrossFit 1209, they're one of the affiliates to follow. Linchpin did a great interview with them a while back, so if you want to go back into the Linchpin Conversations and find that one, it was excellent. Okay, so the video that we're doing today, I feel like we could almost do this topic every week, not every week, every month, to be quite honest with you. And it popped back into my head after seeing some stuff on social media, some people's interactions back and forth, and digging into it as to how just social media potentially can be it's a tool, right? Be it positive or negative, and it's up to you. And so what I'm going to be talking about today is that I believe it's Teddy Roosevelt gets attributed with saying that comparison is the thief of joy, right? And social media makes it really, really easy to compare yourself to others. And that can be a bit of a slippery slope. And in today's day and age where everyone's just strapped to their technology 24 hours a day and living on their phones and social media feeds, it could take you to a place that is not healthy between the ears, not healthy for you physically with what you might think is realistic when you walk into the gym, and not good for your mental health either. So if we are truly concerned with people's long-term health and fitness and their wellness and well-being, then we have to address this every now and then. So, we've also, in addition to the comparison is the thief of joy, which I think is such a fantastic quote, we've all heard it's you versus you, right? We've heard that in CrossFit, in the gym, whatever it happens to be, you versus you, which I will be the first to admit upon initial inspection sounds corny, it sounds cheesy, but there is a whole lot of truth to that. And I think if people can understand the importance of that, it's my humble opinion anyway, they might have a happier and more positive experience, and that's the goal. So here's my take on why social media can be particularly a little troublesome, is maybe a nice way to say it. The other, and this is a great thing to talk about in Games Week, right? Because everyone's following the games, and we all have our heroes in the men's or women's side or whatever it happens to be, or maybe in a different sport, football, baseball, basketball, whatever it happens to be. There's somebody that you most likely idolize to some degree, and you follow them on social media, and you know what they're doing and what they're going and what they're wearing and what they like and what they don't like and all that stuff, right? We've all been there. Here's the potential problem, is these other people that you see, follow, and potentially compare yourself to through social media, I hate to break it to everybody, maybe we know this, but we need to hear it, you don't know them. You might feel like you know them because you see them a lot. You might feel like you know them through a bunch of videos that they do. You might feel like you know them through whatever it happens to be, but you don't really know them. Okay, you don't know their lives, you don't know them, you know a very small fraction of what they allow you to see for their particular purpose or agenda. Now, this incredible window into so many people's lives on social media, is it positive or negative? Well, again, it all depends. There's a really fine line, I think, for some people, mentally, we're talking like mental health here and pressure, between looking at somebody on social media and that person, for lack of a better way to say it, is just, it's better than them in some aspect, it's better than you at business, better than you at physical fitness, better than you at whatever it happens to be. And you look at that, and if you're strong enough mentally to not let it get to you, maybe you do actually find it motivating, and it drives you to walk into the gym, or drives you in business, or drives you whatever it happens to be, with no negative attributes whatsoever. It doesn't matter that they're orders of magnitude better than you. you somehow don't feel any inferiority, no pressure whatsoever. You just think it's wonderful, sunshine and rainbows, nothing but beautiful, happy bliss and motivation, and you drive into the gym and have a great session. If so, fantastic. And this, we'll pause there, and this video will be of very little help to you, but I don't think a lot of people fall into that camp. I think it's easy to look at those people that are so far beyond us in whatever realm it is that we're hoping to achieve, and you feel a bit overwhelmed, like you're not where you need to be, and that's not a good place to be. So it just depends on what you're seeing. Is it motivating or is it demoralizing? And you have to be very honest with yourself and make decisions based upon that. So here we go. On social media, bear in mind, okay, now this is stuff that might be obvious, but it bears repeating. You only see the narrative and the images that somebody chooses to show the world. And that can be harmful or dangerous to confuse with what you're seeing on social media with reality. So again, you are seeing the narrative and the images that somebody chooses to present to the world. You are not seeing reality. And these images, photos, videos, for example, are the ones that specifically made the cut. I've seen people that take their social media presence very, very seriously, and they will snap a tremendous amount of photos until the image is right, the lighting is right, the whimsical expression on their face is right, that it appears that you just caught them in an impromptu moment with their friends laughing over a couple of drinks. Oh, some of that might be real, okay? I'm sure it's out there, but I'm here to tell you plenty of that is artificial, staged, and done repetitively until the shot is perfect. And then that perfect shot is the one that makes the cut. And then that's what you see on their social media feed, and it looks wonderful. So, and to include the wording or the caption below the photo. That's important, right? And that's the message you're putting out to the world. So I've seen that message or that caption written and rewritten as if you were editing a book until it will be the most appealing message as possible to the audience that somebody is trying to appeal to. Don't confuse that with reality. That's putting out the statement that's going to be warmly received by the audience. It might be true, but it also just might be somebody saying what people want to hear with the perfectly matched image that they feel fits that. Social media makes it extremely easy to find this almost like never happened in the world. Social media makes it really easy to find not one, but tons of people, hundreds of people, thousands of people who appear to be operating at a higher level than you. Whether that's body composition, scores on workouts, the cars that they drive, the homes that they live in, the vacations that they take, the amazing nights partying with their friends, whatever it happens to be. It used to be, before social media, those people would cross your paths every now and then because they had to cross your path in reality. You're like, oh wow, we had a beast in the gym today. You should have seen this man and woman. They were incredible. And then nothing happens for several weeks. And then, oh, this guy pulled in today in a Ferrari. Can you believe that? A Ferrari. It was crazy. I remember I saw one of those last year. Wow, now I saw one this year. Well, now you can see that hundreds of times a day, every single day of your life, and that overwhelming percentage can get you to believe that that's relatively normal, and now you are well below what appears to be the median, and that's not the case, and that's a dangerous slippery slope. So it might seem over the top, but I tell myself sometimes on social media that, bear in mind, you're viewing social media, and some people are genuine, so I don't want to take that away from the wonderful folks that are genuine. Some people do run genuine social media accounts, okay? Great. But there are some people out there with mega followers, sponsors to make happy, and everything else under the sun, and you are not seeing them. You are seeing a deliberately crafted propaganda reel of some stranger's intentionally architectured successes. and that's presented to you. So just keep your eyes open, and that might help you have a bit of perspective when you're scrolling through your phone and maybe feeling bad about yourself. And if you're comparing yourself with these people, I believe that could be potentially harmful for several reasons. I mean, first of all, they're just different than you, right? I know that sounds obvious, but they're just different than you in countless ways. They've had different lives since the day that they were born, different life paths, you have different struggles than they. Maybe you have more, maybe you have less, but point is you've all had different struggles. You've had different social circles that either have or have not supported you. Everybody's coming from different backgrounds. Everyone had different resources available to help achieve their goals or fall short of their goals. Everyone had a different family, either a great one or a not so great one. Different jobs, different stressors, different schedules. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, which makes any sort of a comparison not fair. That's for darn sure. Now I know that life's not fair, but more importantly, it makes it not useful. It's not a useful comparison, and I think that's really the crux of the issue there, which brings it back to it really is you versus you at the end of the day, because you are the baseline for your success or your failures, not some other random person that you've never met and is just putting forth their propaganda reel. That's not a good metric for comparison. You can't measure your progress or improvement against somebody else, somebody that you don't know, somebody that you don't even know is presenting reality. I mean, that's not going to be a meaningful measurement in any way, shape, or form. You can, however, track your data. You can keep tabs on your life. You can measure your progress in all areas, quite frankly, physically, emotionally, mentally, intellectually, the whole 9 yards. And you can measure it against where you were 10 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago, or even yesterday. And that is a useful and beneficial metric from which you can measure yourself. And also what's going to help you with this, in my opinion, is community. That's one of the powerful and profoundly cool things about CrossFit, is surrounding yourself with the right people will significantly assist this process. It will not only assist you in reining you in every now and then, if you happen to be getting lost down a social media rabbit hole of comparison, but also a great community will be there with you through your successes and through your failures. And both in life and the gym, we're going to have plenty of failures, right? Plenty of failures, sometimes far more than the successes. And they're going to be there with you. And I think that's an interesting thing about social media as well, is it doesn't show that ratio. As far as social media looks like, life is just successful event after successful event after another successful event. There's never a swing and a miss. How amazing is that? Every time you get to the plate, it's a home run after a home run. The crowd cheers every time. There's never a strikeout. Wow. That is a dangerous little disease to get into your head, because that is not how our lives are, and that can take you down a bad road. So a great community will also help keep you moving forward, help keep you focused, support you when you need it, and help you keep a healthy perspective. And in my mind, I think of like some things in life, what we're trying to accomplish is like a big boulder, right? And we're trying to push this boulder, not up a profoundly steep grade, because that wouldn't happen, but through a slight incline, we're trying to move this big boulder forward. And if you can just make this slow, incremental process of pushing this thing forward a few inches or a foot every day, you're moving in the right direction. Every now and then, you might be stagnant. Even though you're exerting a lot of pressure against that boulder, there's so many stressors and other things happening in life that it didn't move forward that day. If you can just keep it from moving backwards on that day, that's also a win, quite frankly. And then when you get your strength back, you go ahead and start moving it forwards. Every now and then, the boulder will move backwards. It's going to happen. And when that happens, ideally, you've got your good crew, your good community, you've surrounded yourself with the right people that are there to truly support you, and they'll help get that thing moving forwards again. So, again, it really is you versus you. needlessly comparing yourself to somebody else is a dangerous place to be. Find strong friends, find a strong community. That's going to help you. And then, and this again, it's so important during games week too, because you're going to see some monster everything's. You have to look at yourself and be like, okay, what's my Fran today compared to where my Fran was a year ago? Am I moving in the right direction? And let's say that you took, you know, uh, 15 seconds off of your Fran over a calendar year. Fantastic. Well, you just saw somebody on social media that took 30 seconds off their Fran one calendar year. Now, that's twice as much time as you. That's twice as much improvement. Now you don't feel so good about your success anymore. That's bad. That's negative. That's not a good use of social media. You don't know what that other person had going on. You don't know anything about that journey. You just saw one random isolated social media post. Disregard it. You know that you took your Fran in 1 year to a 15-second improvement. Success. Awesome. Where was your squat 1 year ago compared to your squat today? The heck with everyone else's. Doesn't matter what they did or didn't put on their squat. Matters what you did. To your 800-meter dash. I know everyone's like, I don't do the 800-meter dash, Pat. I don't know what you're talking about. 800-meter dash. If you're a Linchpin, you do. Your rounds of Cindy, whatever it happens to be, look at where you are, look at where you used to be, and then make that comparison based upon that. And control your social media feed. Don't let your social media feed control you. It annoys me to no end that Instagram, in the last, I don't know what it was, 6 months to a year, things pop up in your feed even if you don't want them to, right? They kind of figure out what you might like, and then I've got all these random people popping up. I don't want these people in my feed. Get out of my feed. If I follow 9 people on social media, well, those are the only 9 people that I'm concerned about. I'd like to just follow those 9 and not have these random... I understand that, Instagram's got to pay the bills. I get that. But I also understand your feed might have things in it that you don't want to see and aren't helpful, and you didn't choose to have them there. And just having these kind of conversations so it's at the top of your mind can maybe help just push them to the side. They're not important. So control your social media feed. Don't let it control you. So that's that. Oh, Ken. Ken says he can hear the baby crying in the background. Can you hear little Lane, our daughter? Mom was giving her a feeding. She's a chow hound. I'm not going to lie to you. She enjoys some food, which I can't hold that against her. I'm not one to miss a meal either. You can even see in the back of my office on the floor there's like a little baby plaything on the ground. Again, real life, right? Real life. Social media is not real life. Real life is real life. And fill your feed with individuals or messages that help you achieve those goals. Of course, I wholeheartedly hope that my messages in the CrossFit Linchpin is a positive part of your social media feed. That's the goal. Try to shoot you straight. So that's it. Have a great day, and we will talk later.